In this video, I use the power of mirrorworld technology to create an alternate universe where the Limbus Company sinners mirror the NPCs of Uma Musume and they steal their work basically. I will assign the sinners a fitting NPC they can mirror as, along with a story and my thoughts on why I think this sinner best fits mirroring as this NPC or character. This is going to be a wild ride, so I ask you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So our first NPC on this list is Tazuna Hayakawa. And you might ask, which Limbus sinner would best fit mirroring as her? Well, I already said the answer, which is Honglu. But I will deeply explain my reasons why exactly should Honglu get the Tazuna ID and a story as well. Honglu in this mirror world as Tazuna would obviously be the secretary of Trasen Academy, whose job is to aim high and be a pillar support for both students and trainers alike. Unlike the actual Tazuna, my interpretation of Honglu Tazuna is that he grew up in a rich family that is like the Medjiros, but it's gonna be secretive, okay? Before he became Trasen's secretary, his lore is that Honglu Tazuna would be hiding something, like two things basically. If you ever discuss to Honglu Tazuna about his jade eye, he will say that it's a special genetic he grew up with, totally not hiding something. But in reality, the thing about his jade eye is that the elders would be watching him in this mirror world, but it's kinda boring for the elders and also disappointing. Just imagine Honglu Tazuna telling a trainer, "Dante, your Uma lacks the guts to sustain winning the race, Dante," and the elders are like disappointed. There's no violence or harm to be done in the Umamusume world. It's just him telling trainers that they need to up their Uma's capabilities, along with catching anyone who breaks the curfew rule. Maybe the entertaining part for the elders would be the Uma races, I guess. I guess the reason why Honglu should mirror Tazuna is both characters are hiding something. Who knows what they are hiding behind that hat or eye? Let's give Honglu Tazuna an ID name. 000 Identity, Trasen Academy Secretary Tazuna Hayakawa Honglu. Also, one thing I gotta say is that Honglu Tazuna is a new. Okay, so our next character is Trasen's director Yaoi Akikawa. And in this mirror world, the most fitting sinner for her to be mirrored by is none other than the yellow-haired girl Don Quixote. And here's the story. In this mirror world where Don Quixote is director Akikawa, her job is to be Trasen Academy secretary, where she creates a happy place where Umas and trainers can coexist as one. Her appearance would be is that she wears the director's outfit, albeit the difference is that this version has blonde hair and yellow eyes, plus the iconic Rushinante shoes. I also imagine in my head that director Don Quixote would tell lots and lots of stories to the Umas and trainers about the history of this academy, ranging from stories of legendary Umas who dominated many races, legendary trainers who turned the tide due to their superior and amazing training tactics, and so many more legends that she can go on for hours. But there is one thing you have to note is that in this mirror world, there was one incident where she took off Rushinante and basically straight up turned into Sancho the Uma blood fiend. But luckily, thanks to Honglu Tazuna, he managed to stop her before it's too late by calling Virgilius, saying, "You are a director, nothing more." Also, one thing you have to know is that director Akikawa has a private military. Just imagine Don Quixote with an access to a private military. Well, that's a plus. The reason why Don Quixote should get the Akikawa ID is that they're so similar in my eyes. Both characters are silly and one power basically. So let's give director Akikawa Don Quixote an ID name, shall we? 000 Identity, Trasen Academy Director Akikawa Don Quixote. About the allegations regarding Honglu Tazuna and Director Don Quixote being Umas, does this mean in this mirror world, Tokino Minoro's hair color is midnight black blue and Northern Taste is a blonde horse? So I have to tell you that Tazuna Honglu and Director Don Quixote is secretly a So, the next NPC is the woman who runs Team Zenith and is the main contributor of the Unity Cup scenario, which is Riko Kashimoto. In this mirror world, the sinner that will be mirroring her is none other than Ryoshu. Here's a story on Ryoshu's life as Riko Kashimoto, or should I say, Ryoshu Kashimoto. Ryoshu Kashimoto would portray herself as a serious, tough, and menacing trainer who wants her Umas to become very strong and win many races, who is a veteran trainer from the URA. Along with that, she spouts a bunch of acronyms like SAD, UC, SEAT, GAY, and so much more acronyms basically. In the Unity Cup Mirror World scenario, director Akikawa Don Quixote would basically go on a business trip as she's needed somewhere, so Ryoshu Kashimoto will be taking her place as the substitute director. Challenging Ryoshu Kashimoto is no joke, as her Umas have been trained even further to be faster and stronger. Now, as for how would Ryoshu Kashimoto treat her Umas, she would basically be a mother figure type trainer, but also a very good version of Valencina. She wouldn't wouldn't hurt her Umas unlike Valencina, but would instead heavily encourage them to run fast and be very strong, and also defeat your Umas as well. Also, I had an idea where one of her trainees in Team Zenith is Araya, or an Uma that resembles Araya. If you manage to somehow defeat Riko Kashimoto, she might be impressed and happy. It's not like she's gonna pull out Araya Shiki and say, erasing me, erasing you. But can I tell you something? Riko Kashimoto is a secret girl failure. Like if nobody's looking, she actually struggles to carry her sword. And just like the actual Riko Kashimoto, she's physically quite unfit and finds simple to carry things heavy. And gets easily winded as well if the trainers aren't looking. So she needs her Uma's help to do those things. So yeah, let's give Riko Kashimoto Ryoshu an ID name. 000 identity. UC. Riko Kashimoto Ryoshu. So let's move to the next NPC, shall we? Okay, next on our list is the Team Spica trainer from the anime, and he shall be mirrored by none other than Gregor. But this will not be a happy story, because that's just how Kim Ji-hoon writes Gregor nowadays. This version of the Team Spica trainer will have a missing arm, as like every other Gregor ID. The reason being, due to a car crash which costed him an arm. Due to this, Team Spica trainer Gregor has trauma from it, but he still chose to become a trainer for Team Spica. His appearance would be, he wears the Team Spica trainer's outfit, albeit his eyes are more tired, his arm is a prosthetic in this mirror world, and he has more beard like Gregor. I imagine that director Don Quixote tells the Team Spica trainer that everything is gonna be alright. He should keep pushing himself to train his Umas so that they can win races despite having severe past trauma. Basically, Team Spica trainer Gregor will keep pushing himself to train the Umas. Even if he's tired and sick, he will still keep going, and he wants to make sure those Umas are happy and strong, even if it costs his own sanity. I also imagine in my head, this version of the Team Spica trainer struggles to sleep sometimes. Unlike the actual Team Spica trainer that always smiles and is cocky, I don't know if Gregor's Spica trainer will be smiling. Maybe he will be smiling, albeit faking it. But despite all the hardships and stuff he had faced, in the end, he might be happy. Like he has a bunch of Umas that will basically cheer him up, and he will basically go through what the Team Spica trainer went through from season 1 to 3. So yeah, let's give Team Spica trainer an ID name. 000 identity, Team Spica trainer son Gregor. So let's move to the next Umamusume NPC, shall we? Okay, so this one's gonna feature two characters into one, which is Aoi Kiryuin the trainer and Happy Meek her trainee. The sinner that shall mirror these two will be Ishmael and Faust, and here's why. Ishmael, being Aoi Kiryuin in the Uma world, is essentially normal woman gets a normal woman identity. Like she's just some regular trainer who tries her best to make sure her trainee Happy Meek as Faust wins. She's just your typical rival trainer that you defeat with your Umas in the URA final scenario. I guess in this mirror world where you are a trainer, you can ask Aoi Kiryuin and Ishmael to hang out like that support card feature in the game with her, and she might talk to you about stories about her life and stuff. Since Faust is Happy Meek, due to Faust having knowledge towards all outcomes, this version of Happy Meek would be a very strong Uma, not gonna lie. Just imagine Happy Faust calls the Gazelle shop and asks them, how do I defeat these trainers Uma in a race? To which all the Faust tell her the best ways to defeat you in a race. And so she starts speeding towards the finish line and you lose hard. So essentially in this mirror world, Ishmael is Faust's trainer. As I once said, Happy Faust knows all outcomes. So let's give these two character ID names, shall we? For Ishmael, 000 identity, URA final, regular trainer Aoi Kiryuin Ishmael. As for Faust, 000 identity, URA final, Happy Faust. So yeah, let's move to the next Umamusume NPC. I still got some more to cover. Next character on this list is the news reporter lady. I think her name was Reporter Otonashi. And the sinner that shall be mirroring her is Rodian. And when I think about it, the reporter and Rodian look so eerily similar towards one another, design-wise. Like, they got the same eye color and almost the same hair color. So in this mirror world, taking the work of the reporter, basically, Rodian does report stuff whilst doing monthly reports under the Twinkle magazine. I also heard her secret is that Reporter Otonashi can speak 7 languages. So imagine Reporter Rodian being able to speak Russian, Japanese, Korean, and etc. Reporter Rodian would not just be a regular woman who is dedicated to just reporting about the horse racing that's happening, but she would also be a heavy gambler and food enthusiast. Just imagine after she's done interviewing you or any Uma she encounters, she proceeds to visit a delicious restaurant and munch on all the food there. Along with that, go to a casino and gamble like typical Rodian activities. I heard Reporter Otonashi has a highlight in the Track Blazer scenario, so I guess my idea is that she would be interviewing you a lot. So yeah, this is a Rodian mirror world where Rodian isn't miserable, unlike the IDs Kim Ji-hoon is making nowadays. She's just some regular news reporter checking on what's going on with the Academy plus Umas. So here's an ID name, 000 identity, Twinkle magazine reporter Otonashi Rodian. Can I stop you for a second? I want you to like and subscribe and help out this channel grow basically. I need to get to 1,500 subs. So let's move to the next Umamusume NPC on my checklist, shall we? Okay, so our next character is Mihono Bourbons trainer from the season 2 anime. Imagine I just straight up tell the sinner that's gonna mirror him, Mersault, become Mihono Bourbons trainer. To which he responds, it shall be done, manager. And now we got Mersault as Mihono Bourbons trainer. There isn't much information I know about Mihono Bourbons trainer aside from the fact that his voice actor is Kiryu Kashimoto. So just imagine in this mirror world, Mihono Bourbon trainer Mersault is essentially Kiryu Mersault 2.0 disguised as a trainer with that Dragon of Dojima style thing he has. So let's just imagine in this mirror world, Mihono Bourbon trainer Mersault is a former yakuza who left his life of crime and became Mihono Bourbon's trainer basically. He's also super goated. Mihono Bourbon would probably receive amazing training from Mersault because the manager told him to do so. So let's give Mihono Bourbon trainer Mersault an ID name. 000 identity, Dragon of Trasen, Dojima Mihono Bourbon trainer Mersault. Let's move to the next Umamusume NPC. I don't know how many I gotta do left. I'm about to turn our irrelevant Umamusume NPC from the Cinderella Grey anime. You see this guy right here? This is Dicta Striker's trainer from the anime. In this mirror world, I am going to make this guy into a Heathcliff identity and I make my own interpretation of him, shall we? If you have seen my I-ranked Limbus Company sinners on what Umamusume Umadale train, you'll know that I said Heathcliff would be Dicta Striker's trainer, but in that vid, I focused more on Dicta Striker than her trainer. So here, I focus on her trainer more. So in this mirror world, Heathcliff is Dicta Striker's trainer and what's the best for her, albeit he has a really shady past. But there was one incident that happened during the events of Sin Grey in this mirror world where Eric King Heathcliff came in and tried to assassinate Dicta Striker's trainer. And then they ended up at the Wuthering Heights mansion and her trainer has to 1v1 Eric King in a fight. Just imagine being an Uma and your trainer has to 1v1 a homeless guy who hates every version of himself in a mansion whilst melodic violin plays in the background. Oh wait, I forgot, his trainee is Dicta Striker. I can just imagine she would join in on the fight to jump on Eric King Heathcliff. And in the end, after all of that Eric King Heathcliff shenanigans, Heathcliff Striker trainer and Dicta Striker goes to a restaurant and eat some good food. So yeah, let's give Dicta Striker trainer Heathcliff an ID name. 000 identity, Dicta's trainer Heathcliff. Next Umamusume NPC. I feel like I'm almost done with this. Okay, next up on this list is the acupuncturist lady that rarely appears in the game, but if she does, it's basically extreme gambling. And you know which sinner would fit mirroring her? Well, it's Rodian because gambling. So in this mirror world, Rodian is a shady acupuncturist who basically does a lot of shady things. Like she would sneak into the academy and ask trainers if they wanna risk with their medical practices. Or you can call Honglu Tazuna to get her out of the academy. There isn't much information I know about the acupuncturist aside from the fact this is a separate Rodian mirror world from the reporter Otonashi Rodian. Kinda like what they did with Ryoshu where she got 3 IDs centered around Kanto 8. So yeah, not much to say about this. Let's give this ID a name, shall we? 000 identity, Rodian the acupuncturist. So let's move to one last NPC now, shall we? This part is gonna cover 2 characters and they will be mirrored by the same character, which is Tucker Bryne and Casino Drive. If you play the JP version of Umamusume, you will know these 2. So the sinner that will mirror these 2 will be none other than Otis because the Odyssey has a purpose. Our first character that we will cover is Casino Drive. In the Umamusume mirror world where Otis is Casino Drive, she will be one of the known people responsible for the Breeders' Cup scenario obviously. But unlike the actual one, this mirror world version talks about a certain manager who helped her achieve an amazing career. Like she would tell lots of stories about how this manager is the reason she's successful. And along with that, she might assist you in your goal in the Breeders' Cup scenario. Like she might ask you what race do you want to do or something. Like you can imagine Otis Casino Drive carrying around a watch and constantly checking it when she travels abroad and pursues the so-called Odyssey that has a purpose. Now as for the second identity as Tucker Bryne, in this mirror world, she's gonna be the chief supervisor of your island project, like in the actual game. Albeit the difference is that Otis Tucker Bryne would constantly refer to you as manager than trainer because you're not just managing Umas, you're also managing a literal island. And just like with Casino Drive Otis, she constantly checks on her watch as well. And she would help out with the construction of the buildings and the events that's gonna be hosted for the Umas and other Tucker Bryne stuff. But you have to note is that these 2 IDs are separate timelines, so they don't take place towards each other and are separate from one another. So yeah, let's give these 2 Umamusume NPC IDs a name, shall we? First is 000 identity, Design Your Island Tucker Bryne Otis. Second is 000 identity, Beyond Dreams Casino Drive Otis. So can I start talking about myself? So let's go. So I finally did it at last. Hopefully you enjoyed every second of this. You see, not many people look at the NPCs of Uma Musume and think about them. Most of the time, when you think of Uma Musume, you look at the horse girls, not the NPCs like Tazuna, the reporter, and etc. So I decided to give them a spotlight by using mirrorworld technology for the first time to create an alternate universe where the sinners are the Uma Musume NPCs. Making this video was not easy, man. Like, I had to sprite edit the entire Uma Musume NPC cast and Limbus Sinner-ify all of them so that I can give you an idea on what they would look like as them. It's not like someone is going to revamp this idea of mine by making advanced fan art where the sinners are the NPCs of Uma Musume using my idea. I'll let anyone revamp this idea. Make Honglu as Tazuna and revamp it, I guess. You might ask, do you exist in this mirror world as a trainer? Yes, you do. Albeit you will interact with the sinners, not the original ones. Okay, so it's my vacation. I know it's late, but it's currently my vacation. I want to make the best out of it. So I ask you to like and subscribe. My ultimate checkpoint for this channel is 10,000 subscribers, so help me get there. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you all in the next one.